But you know what today's going to be about? Music and fall and memories, lots of memories, and the last day you have left tomorrow to vote. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in a few minutes, but I've got some really cool photos that we want to share with y'all. And you know, some of them might have Xana in it, some might have Riker in it, some might have a couple who have been married 80 years. Do y'all know anybody who's been married 80 years? They were at Blue Ridge celebrating their 80th anniversary. They got married when she was 14, he was 19, and they made it 80 years. Do you know what the odds of making it when you get married at 14? Because at 14, y'all know, 14-year-olds, most of them don't have a mind about them. They've got this going on, that going on, flip around here, flip around there. These two lovebirds still together, and we're going to share some photos of them at the lake with their family. We're going to share a recipe. Now, this recipe was concocted because I've been to the East Side Grill and I've eaten junkyard fries, and they're really, really good. But last night, it was really weird. I had breakfast yesterday, and then I went to work, and I had 3 cups of coffee, 3 bottles of water all day long, and I was thinking when I got home, what do I want to eat? Well, I couldn't decide. So you know what I did? I made a big old pot of homemade chili because this is chilly weather. And from that homemade chili, I love homemade battered French fries. So I got out the buttermilk and I cut my taters and I soaked them in buttermilk. And then I rolled them in flour and salt and pepper. Then I dropped them in that hot grease, and I thought, well, I don't want just plain old French fries. So you know what I did with them? I turned them into garbage pile French fries. Garbage pile in honor of all of us who support President Donald John Trump. Because somebody, old squeegee-eyed old feller up there in the White House, called us garbage. So now I made garbage pile fries. You can make a big old plate of these and sit them out there, and in about 2 minutes they're gone because they're awful good. But let me tell you what I put on mine, and this is just my personal stuff I love. I started with the homemade battered French fries, then I added the homemade chili, and then I added a little blitz here and there of a little mustard and a little ketchup because everybody knows that's good. And then I added some sweet pickles because I do love them. And then I added some cheese, and then I added some bacon bits, and then I added some sour cream, and then I added my favorite thing I think about it that I really, really loved was that sweet pickle relish. Lord have mercy, it was good. And then I added when I added the sour cream, it just all came together very, very nicely. So, you know, I can't remember what all they put it on at East Side Grill. I know they do their homemade chili, but and jalapenos if you want them, but some different things. Oh, I know they put ranch dressing, but I just put a dollop of sour cream and the hot pepper, and it was hot. It wasn't too hot though. It gave it just this perfect style. That's how I was layering it up. That's after I took the taters and then added the chili and then added the mustard and ketchup, and then I just kept adding stuff. And oh my, it was good. And honestly, you make a big old platter of that, and that's supper because it's got like 5 food groups in it. So you can just do that, and oh, it was good. I think I'm going to make it for a special occasion one day just because I believe everybody would like a little bite of that. And you might not like hot peppers. Some people don't like hot peppers, but those peppers were good. So, yeah. And I said if you guys are out there deer hunting, this would be a great recipe to do to use your deer. Just use your ground up deer, or if you've gone moose hunting, like I know somebody who went to Canada and went moose hunting, so do that, and it's a good, yummy, very filling meal. Love it. Don't y'all love that stainless steel backsplash? That's my favorite backsplash in the whole wide world. Everybody makes all these hard decisions. What am I going to do about backsplash? What am I going to do? The simplest thing in the world is stainless steel backsplash because it cleans up good, it lasts forever, and it looks good. So simple. Now this is the precious couple, 80 years married. They got married when she was 14 and he was 19. Goodness gracious, that's kind of like Doolittle and Loretta, but I think she was a little bit younger than 14 and Doolittle was a little bit older than that. So, but is that not just absolutely precious? I love that. What a sweet story. When years ago I put out word if anybody had been married over 70 years, I wanted to know it. And we had one couple down in Ball Ground who had been married 70 years. And I thought that was the sweetest thing. But that couple has been married 80 years. 80 years. Do you know how many breakfasts she's cooked for him in 80 years? Holy cow. Can you imagine? And I bet she's a good cook. I bet she's a good cook. So, but is that not the sweetest thing? And they were up at Lake Blue Ridge with family celebrating their 80th anniversary. And I just think that is so precious. If you know anybody who's been married over 80 years, send me the information. I would love to honor them and to share the word, because you know people don't stick to their commitments anymore. It's a very different world. It's a world full of crime and crud and junk and garbage and just awful. Now that is my favorite picture ever. Any political picture, that's my favorite political picture ever. And tomorrow I'm wearing my Melania blue top in honor and hopefully in good luck for the election day coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is your last day to vote, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But that is my favorite. That is, I've never been prouder of America. Me and a whole bunch of grannies were sitting on the sofa squalling our eyes out. So this is sadly the memorial to my sister. She's been passed away. She passed away 2 years ago this weekend, and Charles and the kids went out and honored her at the cemetery, and he read the sweetest thing talking about their life together. And I will tell you, my sister nailed it when she married Charles, the sweetest husband in the world, and they had a wonderful 50 some odd years of marriage, and just a great couple, and he misses her so much. And so yeah, she's gone, but she will never be forgotten. Precious. Now I love this. I want a t-shirt that says that. I think that's so cool, and I hope that the next shirt will say, I like my presidents like my guns, and I'll have to add a 47 to it, and I'll have to come up with a new gun. So yeah, I think that's really cool. We have had some really neat things happen in the past few days. We've had a lot of people come to Ball Ground and visit, but one of the things that was really hard on me as we were working the Halloween stuff, I kept thinking how much my daughter loved Halloween. Angela loved Halloween. And I had asked all of y'all to pray for Tori, because she is flying back to the lower 48. She will be coming into work in Cincinnati. She's not going to be in Alaska anymore. Thank you, sweet Jesus. But at the same time, this child has 2 blood clots. She has a blood clot in her lung and a blood clot in her leg. So please pray, because flying with 2 blood clots is not good. But she has to travel on Wednesday. They've had her on blood thinners for about 14 days, but she still has the blood clots. So I am worried. This nanny is worried to death. But we're going to say that the good Lord's going to watch over her. He's going to keep her, and she's going to land safely, and all will be well. The problem is she has 2 flights. She has to fly in one time, then she has to fly. Now this, I was going through pictures, and this has to be the funniest picture I own. There was a snake in our office, and Mr. Brackett was trying to get the snake for us, because you know what the screaming women had done? We'd all run outside hollering, and he was trying to get the snake. I can't remember if he killed it, if he got it, or if the snake ran away, but it was funny as it could be. Now, first snake we'd ever seen in there, but we were bad guilty of leaving the back doors of the office open when cars and trucks would come and go. We should have known better. We should have known better, but we didn't. And so he's trying to get the snake. And that reminds you that anytime you move into the area and you don't know who to call for all your services, Wi-Fi, telephone, you name it, pick up the phone and call ETC at 706-253-2271 and say, hey, I'm new to the area, but I'd love to find out about your services, because so far everybody at Malone's Pond has got ETC, and they're loving the service. They're loving the availability of talking to people that sound like us, and that just is really cool, because they love They said, everybody at ETC is so nice. And I said, of course they are. Okay, 2 things define you: your patience when you have nothing and your attitude when you have everything. That kind of describes somebody I know. President Trump has everything. He's a billionaire. He could be at the beach, he could be anywhere he wanted to be, but he wants to be president of the United States, and we want him to, because we need a strong commander-in-chief. We need a strong leader. We need somebody who doesn't need the money and isn't taking money on the backside. He is doing this because he loves America. Isn't that a different attitude for a politician? Can you imagine? They're doing it because they love America. So think about it. Tomorrow is your last chance to make sure you help me elect my candidate. And there it is. And this is a house that we're listing. I've got the listing ready, and we're going to have it ready to go on the market Thursday. Beautiful house in Ball Ground. It's on a little over 2 acres in a great community. Everybody has large lots and everybody has privacy, and it's really, really neat. So if you're looking to move to the area, the price is going to be $649. You can pick up the phone and call me, and I'd love to show it to you. So again, it goes live on Thursday, and it's an exciting time. Now, you can't vote early anymore. If you didn't vote, you've missed your chance for that. But tomorrow morning, I want all my good friends that have not voted to be in line at 6 o'clock a.m. so you don't have to stand there and wait long. Just sit there in your coffee, sit in your car, sip on your coffee until they get there, and then run in there and get your vote done and get that vote counted. And you see that red background? Yeah, I'm not sending you to vote the other way. I'm sending you to vote that way. So, and we're going to share something with Travis Bridgman that he talked about the other day. And Southern, I love this, knowing what to say, when to say it, and when to just sip your sweet tea. And boy, there have been days I have had to waller down on that sweet tea because it was all I could do to keep my mouth shut. So, but I love that. That is so cool. Mama used to paint signs for me all the time. And there is this sweet couple who now has a little baby that's a year and a half old. Are you kidding me? It's so crazy how time is flying. That's when they were coming back from Jacksonville and had been down there in Florida for a while and needed to be back up here in their family, because when you got a baby, you need to be around your family. Your family wants to see that baby grow. That's exactly why I am such a conservative, such a crazy woman when it comes to my president. I do not want somebody in there who cannot keep our country safe. I do not want somebody in there who doesn't have enough sense to tote the trash out. I do not want somebody in there who can't do it. And I want to read you this. This came out of the Bible, and somebody had shared it with me. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil. Cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with God's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be proud, but be willing to associate with people of low position. And that says it all. Elon Musk is a billionaire. I watched a special about him this week, and he actually went way, way, way above and beyond to help a mom whose child had been denied medical care. And when I watched this story, I said, there's something about billionaires who don't look down on us poor folks. There are some good billionaires out there, and Donald Trump has assembled a huge bunch of them. And you talk about willing to do for America. They are willing to do for America. They have plenty of money, and they could all be sitting on a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean. And guess what? I heard this rumor, Lord, I hope it's true, that Quaker Oats, who owns that brand, has decided they've had a lot of flack and a lot of crazy women like me screaming at them because they took Aunt Jemima's sweet face off my syrup. And I keep her on my syrup because I pour log cabin in that bottle now. I empty it, wash it, buy me some log cabin and put it in an Aunt Jemima bottle just because I don't want to look at pearl milling. I want to look at Aunt Jemima when I'm eating my pancakes or my French toast. So that's what I do, and I bought up every Aunt Jemima bottle I could. Now this is one of the big reasons that I am a conservative and I vote to please, please save our country. Do not vote the wrong way and give our country up. And you can see Vicki and I were with Diamond and Silk, and now, oh, it's so crazy that one of them passed away. It's so weird. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. That's why I told y'all to vote last week in case one of you went to be with Jesus. You got to bank your vote. Now we've got to start over because tomorrow's the only day. That's the reason I vote conservative. That's the pound cake recipe that everybody has asked me, how do you do it, how do you do it, how do you do it? It is pound cake recipe time because that's such a good gift to give everybody. And I'll post the recipe again on Facebook, and I'll also put it on YouTube. But it is such a simple, simple recipe. It was my granny's. I can tell y'all if you can write real fast. It's 2 cups of plain sugar or plain flour, 1 cup of self-rising flour, 6 eggs, a pound of butter, cream cheese, vanilla flavoring, 3 cups of sugar, and it's just simple as it can be. And you cream the butter and the sugar, then add the eggs one at a time, and then add the flour a little bit here, a little bit there, and the cream cheese. You put the cream cheese in with the butter and the sugar. But it's really, really simple, and it's just something, I don't know if Granny dreamed it up or somebody gave it to her, but we've made it forever. Now this, we showed y'all pictures last week of the botanical garden when the kids were there celebrating Halloween. This is how the botanical garden really celebrates. The little ladies in the garden clubs and the gentlemen in the garden club now come and bring their best food. And when they bring their best food, we all show up, because it is some of the best food you ever put in your mouth. If you've got some really cool recipes that I could use, I'm working on a new cookbook and hopefully a new calendar, and I want to share old Southern recipes. I've been going through a lot of my grannies, a lot of my great-grandmas, and thinking and thinking and thinking, and that little lady standing front and center right there, her chocolate pound cake with the best icing in the world is one of those that everybody always says, wow, that is so good, it is so simple, it is so yummy. Those old recipes need to be saved, they need to be shared, and we need to be doing that because one of these days, you know what, we're not going to be here. Speaking of not going to be here, that precious lady will be here forever because she's so hyper, she's so busy, she's so fun. And Margie, happy fall to you. She's made it another trip around the sun, and it's crazy, y'all. We just look back and it's like yesterday we were teenagers and now we're old ladies, so how cool. Now, do y'all know that young boy? Do you know him? We're celebrating, what, Trace, 3 years? You been here 3 years?
Next May will be 3 years.
Yep, next May be 3 years. And he was watching some programs when Donovan was still here when he started, and we are so fortunate to have a little bit of footage of Donovan, and he was an amazing talent, an amazing young man who went to be with the Lord way too soon, way too soon. This is another one of the reasons that I'm a conservative Christian voter. This child is, oh my gosh, I love that baby. Right now she's going through that little no period. It's like, no, do you want to do this, Anna? No. And then she really wants to do it, and she does it. I think she just likes the word no. So, but man, they grow so fast, and they deserve everything we can possibly give them. Now, that might be my favorite car. And rumor tells me that we've got one coming off the line, and it's looking really, really good, and I'm super excited. I can't wait to hear that engine go. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so cool. It's been 2 years of hard work and chasing parts and looking for stuff. But yeah, look at that baby. Is that not precious? Now, if you don't think about the way you vote after you see the future of our children, shame on you, because we have got to save the world. There's nobody but us can do it. If it goes the wrong way tomorrow, these kids will not have the opportunity or the life that we had. They will not have the opportunity or the life that we had. So think about it, y'all. Think about it and do what you can to get to the polls as early as possible. That's a little bit of us getting ready and talking. I'm sure we were talking about the garden club that day, because that's what we do. And we try to keep you in touch with what's going on. A lot of things went on in the community over the fall, and now things are kind of winding down. And you see that Auntie Evelyn loves that baby, and that baby loves her. So how sweet, how sweet, how sweet. We've got to take care of these babies, and that's why we should all have. This is my oldest son, and it looks pretty rough. It's pretty rough. But I've had it since Vicki and I went up to North Carolina when President Trump ran. And we were there. We were right in the middle of it. And you know what I loved about it? There were people there from everywhere. There were people there who were judges, lawyers, you name it. There were people there who were ditch diggers. There were people there who were farmers. There were people there chewing tobacco. And there were people there looking like they were worth $1 million. There were all kinds of people there. And that's what we can do. We can come together and we can rub elbows with the billionaires, because the billionaires are trying to save our country, and they are giving of themselves. And it's like President Trump never took a penny in salary. He gave the salary away, and he always chose somebody who could use it. And he would choose Veterans Affairs. Sometimes he would choose different things, but that's what he did. So there are some good people up there. And you know how somebody says, oh, they got above their raising. No. He was raised by a wonderful mom and dad. He was taught great work ethics, and he has great work ethics, and we want him to be back in the White House. So, now this is his favorite song, Sign. We've got to make it too big to rig. Today we're going to honor veterans, because one of the things that really gets me about the election that we're facing today, the hotels in New York are jam-packed full of illegal immigrants who were brought across and given a card to pay for their motel rooms, for their hotel rooms, for their meals, and for any services they need. There are homeless veterans all over America living under bridges, living a horrible life, often cold, often commit suicide. There are so many veterans who have committed suicide. We have got to stop the craziness and get back to helping America. America can do this. And so we're going to show something that Donovan did many years ago. It's one of my favorite things that we have, and it shows our veterans as they served our nation. Now it's time for us to serve them.
I woke up from a dream when I heard a voice calling out, we can do better in America. We've forgotten who we are, and we're gonna lose our country if we don't fix what's wrong in America. Big shot CEOs have moved their jobs to other countries. Gas prices are killing us in America. But we still love our promised land, and we're gonna keep believing that we can do better in America. 'Cause we are Americans. When we're down, we must rise. We must come back to greatness, honor truth instead of lies. If we wanna lead the world again, we've got to lead ourselves, and we've just got to do better in America. If life is for living, why not peace instead of war? A house out of order doesn't work right anymore. An eye for an eye just leaves everybody blind. We can do better in America and better for mankind. This is America. This is no time for apathy. It's time to face reality. Who's looking out for us in America? Our food isn't safe. Our money is being wasted. Shouldn't Americans come first in America? We've got people homeless in this place we call home. Nobody should go hungry in America. No one should be sick if we know how to make them. Well, we're better than that, and we can do better in America. 'Cause we are Americans. When we're down, we must rise. We must come back to greatness, honor truth instead of lies. If we want to lead the world again, we've got to lead ourselves. We need each other more than ever in America. This is America, land we call our own. The spirit of our people is what makes it feel like home. Let's all stand together, speak with one heart, one mind. We can do better in America and better for mankind. 'Cause we are Americans. When we're down, we must rise. We must all come to greatness, honor truth instead of lies. If we want to lead the world again, we've got to lead ourselves. We need each other more than ever in America. This is America, land we call our own. The spirit of our people is what makes it feel like home. Let's all stand together, speak with one heart, one mind. We can do better in America and better for mankind.
tonight I write to you through tears with a trembling hand. My darling, answer got that call from you. You said you really need him, but you don't need him like I do. Don't misunderstand. I know he's fighting for our land. I really love my country, but I also love my man. He proudly wears the colors of the old red, white, and blue. While I wear a heartache since he left me for you. Dear Uncle Sam, I just got your telegram, and I can't believe that this is me, shaken like I am. For it said, I'm sorry to inform you.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Elmer loves to giggle. Elmer's mommy told him that laughing can help when you have a big feeling, like when you feel happy. Make sure to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it out. Love your mind.
He's loose. throws. He's across the 40 to the 50. It's a foot race to the end zone.
Keep it. He's got a little bit of running room. Hops over a defender, picks up the first down.
There he goes up the middle. He'll be cut down at the 20.
Is into the end zone for a Fannin Rebel score.
Catches it in stride. He'll go to the end zone. Breaks the tackle. Touchdown.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Tomorrow is the day. It is the day, the most important day in my life as far as political elections, anything to do with my future, my grandchildren's future is riding on tomorrow. I'm going to encourage you, and I want to read you a couple of things. There are so many reasons to vote for President Trump, but these are just a few that really stand out for me. The lower prices, if we don't get the prices down, I talked to a young family who had never had credit card debt. And they said, right now, both our credit cards are maxed out, 29% interest, maxed out to keep groceries on the table. We are in trouble. We are in so much trouble, and we can't get out of it by digging the hole deeper. In the years that Biden and Obama were in office, my life changed completely, absolutely completely, because at an age I wasn't prepared to lose everything, I lost everything, and I had to start over. I had to start over because the economy tanked, and it tanked in a very rapid down, it spiraled into the depths of the devil. It was horrible. We're facing that again, and when I talk to young couples who said, you know, I know we told you to find us a house, but right now, we can't afford a house because our credit is messed up because we had to use our credit cards to buy groceries. That should not be happening in America. We have 2 adults working with 2 children, and by the time they pay daycare, they pay a car payment, they pay their utilities, they try to make their rent payment, they can't afford a mortgage, and they certainly can't afford a savings. That is not the way America was meant to be. And that's not the way it was under President Trump. So we need to get him back in office. And the other things, when I think about the war, I was watching that veteran special, and I'm so thankful to Donovan that he did that for us. I grew up during the Vietnam War. I have friends who died in Vietnam fighting. Every single day, you and me, we will both run into somebody who was affected by a war that they didn't ask to fight, but they gave and fought. Many of them gave all, but many of them maybe lost their legs, lost their arm, lost their eyesight. We are not protecting the veterans like we should. The best thing I think President Trump did during his first term in office was to change the VA. He did like Elon Musk. He went in there and he wiped the floor with some people, and he cleaned house. And he fixed it so now veterans don't have to wait 7, 8, 9 months to get an appointment. They can get an appointment. If they don't get an appointment within a certain number of hours, then they can go to a regular doctor and the VA will pay it. That's what you do to take care of America. That's what you do to take care of America. And that's what President Trump did. You know, when I look back at what the income was and what the cost of living was, everybody was doing better. So how in the world could you sit at home and not go vote for President Trump? And how in the world could you walk in there and vote that other way? There's no way in the world I could do it. No way. I think I've counted now, I know 11 people who voted that way, and it just makes me want to, but what can you do? It's your choice. That's one thing about America. We have a choice, and we have a choice to save our country or to continue throwing it in the ditch. As for me and my house, we're going to be saving our country. So we're going to share some music with you, because I know that y'all love Dwight, and we're going to share a little blippet where he was here and he was acting crazy. He's been known to do that. If the election goes wrong, he will be crazy. He said, I don't know if I can deal with this. You got to tell them people to vote the right way. So I've told all of y'all, I don't know what else I can do except say, please, please, how could you possibly not vote to save America? And the one thing that President Trump has drilled into us is we have to have a win that is so big they can't rig it. They're already finding there have been some discrepancies. There have been some ballots turned in that shouldn't have been. There have been some people that were put on the rolls that aren't citizens. And actually, Virginia, thank God for the governor of Virginia, he stood up and he got 2,100 people taken off the roll who were not citizens. So that's pretty awesome. So to Virginia, way to go, y'all, way to go. But we've got to make this win too big to rig. Now we're going to go to some music, and I hope you'll just sit back there and drink your coffee and then think about, yeah, Sherry, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to be in line by 6:20, and I'm going to vote. And I'm going to vote to save America. So here we go to some really good music.
Welcome, folks, to the little cabin across from Ace in Ellijay, Georgia. Here's a song that my grandpa, Bill Sanford, used to sing. In church, I'd see him up there wearing that brown suit. He'd sing this song every Sunday. In the Bible, we read of a city with streets that are paved with pure gold. We'll live in that city forever, and there we shall never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. We'll live in that city forever, and there we shall never grow old. In the Bible we read of a river that flows by the throne, we are told. We'll drink from the life-giving water, and there we shall never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. We'll live in that city forever, and there we shall never grow old. And we read of the earth's weary pilgrims who've been here through hunger and cold. We'll live in that city forever, and there we shall never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. In heaven we'll never grow old. We'll live in that city forever, and there we shall never grow old. We'll live in that city forever,
That is funny to see those old guys. Yeah, 2 of them are older than me. How cool is that? To see them reminds me of all the old programs that we now have on YouTube. So check out our YouTube, and YouTube doesn't cost you anything. You just get on there, hit the subscribe button. You can watch them 24/7, but there's so many programs with so many of our older folks on there that aren't with us anymore. But I want to remind you, those guys sitting there in the cabin that day, they remember when gas was $24.9. The year that I moved to Jasper, gas was $24.9. And it's crazy. When you're driving a 66 Chevelle, you need gas to be $24.9 because it was drinking lots and lots of gas. But we look back at that time, a quart of Blue Plate was 29 cents. When we look back at that, 5 pounds of flour was 69 cents. I mean, it was crazy how we could afford to live. We weren't making as much, but the cost of living wasn't eating us alive. We weren't maxing out credit cards at 29% just to put food on the table. So when we think about what we've been through, we've been through some pretty bad stuff, but you know what happened? God kept showing up, and He's still showing up. And I pray that you will get together tonight at 6 o'clock tonight. Get together, walk out in your yard, look up at the sky and say, Lord Jesus, please bring us the election that we need. Make it fair, make it something that we can all live with, and make it what is good for America. So tonight at 6 o'clock, please just walk outside in your yard, walk around your house, do whatever you want to do, sit down in your rocking chair, whatever you want to do. At 6 o'clock tonight, will you please pray for our nation and pray for wisdom? And when you walk into the polls tomorrow, will you please use your thinking cap and think, do you want the borders closed? I know I do. I want the borders closed almost as much as I want my money back, because when I think about what it costs to live today, it's absolutely crazy. From your utilities went up, everything we touch went up. And the cost of doing any kind of business, when you think about, that woman up there got to talking about price gouging with grocers. The grocers are not price gouging. They're making 1.1% profit. Think about it. Would you work 7 days a week to make 1.1%? Well, the grocery stores are, because they have an obligation to the communities that they serve. We don't need that anymore. Everybody needs to make a fair profit. And if you're a farmer and you know what it costs you to do business today, you look at the apple growers here in Gilmer County, you've got to vote red. You've got to vote conservative. You have got to get our nation back to where it needs to be. And we have got to close these borders. We cannot afford Medicaid, Medicare, and all the benefits that she has offered the illegals who have come in by the dozens and dozens and hundreds of thousands of dozens, because she opened the border. So we have a choice, and that choice is to be done tomorrow, and you have an obligation to my United States of America. We owe Miss Liberty a little bit of calmness. We owe her a goodness, and it is time that we stand together. I don't care what nationality you are. I don't care if you were a Democrat all your life. I know Democrats that are no longer Democrats. I know one that's 90-something years old, and he's voted Trump. And I said, that's what it takes. It takes us opening our eyes, looking out there and seeing the truth. And the truth is, America is about to fail, but we can stop it, and we will. We will. We will come together, we will come together in prayer, and we will come together and we will speak our voice. So please do that. We're going to take you back to some music by that man that y'all love so good. So here we go.
Lady Madonna, children at your feet, wonder how you managed to make ends meet.
Out there. Welcome to Ellijay. That's with a J.
About 90 miles north of Atlanta, where the Coosawhatee lay. They come out of the hills to pay their telephone bills in a town called Ellijay. When the mayor drove a shiny 62 Corvette, Slim was in a cruiser with a Cobra jet. What you see is exactly what you get if you come to Ellijay. Hey, Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, good enough for you and me, yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. Leave all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'm so proud to call a piece of his mind a town called Ellijay.
How you like them apples?
Rivers run right through the middle of town. And late in the evening when the sun goes down, you can drive through and hear the happy sounds of the folks in Ellijay. Now way back in the summer of '73, the Red Dot parking lot was the place to be. But you could get more than what you bargained for back in those days in Ellijay. Yeah, you could. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, good enough for you and me. Yeah, 69 Road Runner, Charger RT, pistol grip 4-speed, 383. Boys, that's the way it all used to be, right here in Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, don't you want to come and see? Yeah. Trout fishing, skinny dipping, party all night. Praise the Lord, honey, I saw the white picking on a Telecaster Saturday night on the streets of Ellijay. Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. You and me floating down the Coosawhatee. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. I'm so proud to call a piece of his mind. Drop all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'll see you in Ellijay. Woo. Yeah.
Anyway, Ellijay, go ahead, Chief.
I'm going to read y'all something from Mike Smith's book, and it is God Keeps Showing Up. And the excerpt is God Chose Us. Today, J.D. Vance is going to be in Cobb County. J.D. Vance was chosen by Donald Trump because God placed him in his heart Donald Trump was chosen by God because God placed the love of America in Donald Trump's heart. And I want you to listen to this. Throughout the Bible, it reminds us that He chose us. But you are the ones chosen by God, chosen for the high calling of priestly work, chosen to be a holy people. God's instruments to do His work and speak out for Him, to tell others of the night and day difference He made in you, from nothing to something, from rejected to accepted. And that is 1 Peter 2, 9 through 10. Jesus said, "You didn't choose me, I chose you. I appointed you to go and produce lasting fruit, so that your Father will give you whatever you ask using my name." John 15, 16. I truly believe that in America today, we have a choice. God chose to save Donald Trump when an assassin tried to hit him straight in the head, a headshot. Just one tiny, tiny millimeter of space. If he had turned his head differently, he would not be with us today. A second attempt was made on his life. If that Secret Service had not looked way long in the bushes and seen that rifle, he would not be here today. I truly believe that God has a plan for America and that Donald John Trump is a big part of that plan. Now, how did J.D. Vance get involved in it? I don't know how he chose him, but I cannot imagine no way is there a better vice presidential candidate than J.D. Vance. That kid who's 40 years old can get out there and he can talk to anybody about anything. He is brilliant. He is married to a very, very, very smart lady who is a high-profile attorney. You talk about good folks. These are the kind of folks you'd want to invite to dinner and you'd want to sit down and just talk to them. God chose them, and I truly believe that tomorrow when you go to the polls, you have a choice to say, okay, Lord, I hear you loud and clear, and I know that it is time for a change in America. It is time to bring America back. Elon Musk's mom was talking about it the other day, and she said, I've been a Democrat all my life, and today I'm a proud Republican. It is crazy how we have seen our country be destroyed right in front of us. We did not stop the second term of Biden and Obama. We have got to stop this reign of terror on America. Please, please, tomorrow, if you have not voted, if you are registered to vote, please go to the polls and vote to save our country. You and I together can do it. God gave us the instrument we need. And tonight, if you're not doing anything else, then watch the movie Hillbilly Ellijay, the story of J.D. Vance's life. I've warned you, it does have some graphic words in it, but it has words that I bet you've heard from some of your grandkids, so not to be a shocker. But watch the story about this young man and then listen to him as he's on the campaign trail and listen to his heart and how he loves this country. He loves this country because God put the love in his heart and God put the love in Donald John Trump's heart. I hope that you will go to the polls. I hope that you will vote for my presidential candidate, and I hope that tomorrow night we are celebrating. We are celebrating big because this is a big thing for America. We've got to make it too big to rig. Don't forget that. I'll see you again soon. Check us out on YouTube. Don't forget, it's free, it's easy. Just hit subscribe and you can watch any of the old programs. I'll see you soon right here on ETC.